Hi everyone. So as you may recognize this background behind me, this is my trailer. So I am at the campground, and I know I've said quite a few times in my videos that I can't really craft here. However, I had this urge to craft. As you may or may not know, if you followed my last few videos, I am in love with Martha's books from Maremi Small Art. She has these beautiful, beautiful decoupage books, and I've started creating with them a lot lately because they really got me inspired. And I got a few new digital papers as well, and I was just like, oh my goodness, I have to bring stuff to craft with, but it's really hard. And as I've mentioned before, it's really, really hard to try and figure out what am I going to bring with me, because I want to bring my whole studio and I can't. So I thought, well, you know what? Maybe I'm not the only one in this situation. So I thought it'd be nice. Maybe you'll enjoy it. I will I will show you what I find essential to bring in order for me to craft at the campground. So I'm going to pause the video, switch the camera around, and I'm going to attempt to show you what I think is very useful to bring with you if you're traveling. And you'll see also the case I carry everything in. It's really easy to pack. Now, I don't recommend this for an airplane, obviously, but you'll see I think I've managed to grab just enough essentials that if I do get the urge or the time, because when we're at the campground, a lot of times we'll go on hikes, we'll go kayaking, go on walks, go at the pool, go to the beach, right? But for those days where it's a little calmer, and or just, you know, in a quiet evening, let's say, and maybe it's raining, we're not having a fire outside, maybe I just want to craft. And those moments where I don't have my things is when, of course, we want to craft. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to bring a few elements and I'm going to show you exactly what I bring. So let's do it right now. Okay, so I'm going to try and show you. I don't know about the angle, it's a little difficult here, but this is, or maybe just let me grab the camera for now and we'll see if I have to put it on the clamp or not. So this is the container I was telling you about. So it's really nice. It's not too big, it's easy to carry, as you can see. So I really like that, and it carries a lot actually, and it all depends on your ability to be a good, you know, somebody that can really pack really well. But I didn't feel it this time, and you'll see. To change the angle, it was impossible, so I will hold my phone and just work with one hand. Okay, so I really like this because it has this first part where you can put your smaller items. So of course I can't bring my sewing machine, but if I want to make a tiny bit of zigzag stitching or regular stitching on, let's say, the bottom of a tag, or to attach the ribbon on a tag, you know how I like sometimes to put them in eyelets, sometimes I'd like to sew them in. So black thread and a needle will do the job, because I'm not gonna, you know, sew a whole journal, but just a few stitching on a few elements. Then you can do it by hand, certainly. Then of course I have my, I don't know what, crocodile. So to set some eyelets, always useful, and of course it punches the holes as well. And in this tiny little container, I brought eyelets, I brought little paper clips, and a few of these fasteners that I love, love, love to add on a lot of my items. So I'm sorry for the shadow. I tried to put everything in a better angle, but I'm thinking you see plenty. Okay, and of course you need some adhesive. So this is my double-sided tape. It doesn't take much space and it's very useful. I have a glue stick, of course, liquid glue as well. And I just brought a few, well, they're, I mean, you call them washi tapes, but they're really not washi. They're really thick paper, and I really love them for adding, I mean, look, writing. And the other one, as you can see, is like, I don't remember how you call these little squares, but I'm sure you know what I mean. They're really, really nice. I've worked with them many times. I got them at Typology. And corner rounder, absolutely. So I'm just going to put this back real quick. And I brought ink thingies, inkers, and two of my favorites. So a lighter one and a darker one. That way I'm set no matter what I decide. I brought, of course, my gold, because I love to put gold in all kinds of things. And absolutely clear gesso. You need clear gesso if you're going to do some art journaling, or I mean, even lately, the last piece I made was a journal topper in my last video. It was not art journaling, and I still needed to gesso it, so why not? And here is just tags that came off of something, I think, yeah, decorative pillows, and I thought this is so interesting. I will put them in one of my journals. I'll just change the front, but I wanted to bring them because I will use them. And a few, you know, a tiny bit of ribbons if I'm making some tags, and some fabric, because I like to add fabric a little bit everywhere. Now I think the only thing I forgot today is to bring a few of my favorite stamps. That's what I forgot, because usually I would bring in a Ziploc bag just a few of my very, very favorite ones, like the ones for, you know, that imitate mailing and such, right? Because I really love those. So on the second floor, what I brought, and also well, I'll show you after. So in this area, I could have put a brush to put the gesso, and also because, well, I'm going to show you now. I've showed you before. This is my emergency watercolor pouch. So I have all my Inktense pencil, well, not all of them, but a smaller set of Inktense pencils. I have all kinds of things in there, and in there's a brush. But if I didn't have this, I would probably bring my Bark Inktense pencil, because I like to do my shadowing with it, and of course a brush so that I could put, you know, the gesso. So, but I always have this pouch with me no matter what, and sometimes I put it in here if there's less things, but I already had it with me in another bag. But let's just talk about this. So if you're only bringing a container like this, then yes, put whatever you do your shadows with and a brush to apply your gesso, and you're all good. So here I only brought some elements that I made in my last video, although the topper was a different one. But if you watched probably my last video, I would think, or, you know, one of my last videos, I made these items. So this will be a pocket, and of course, you know, tags to put in the pocket, and if you know, when you turn it around, it opens. And these are the types of elements I think you can easily do on the go with this type of container. That's why I brought them. I wanted to show you. In the last video, the journal topper is a different one, but I decided to change it up because this fits these much better. So anyways, I brought this to, you know, keep in mind where I'm going, because I do want to create other items that will go in this future journal. So to do so, I brought these, which are elements that I purchased from 49 Market, but I could also have added a few fussy cutted elements, which I did not this time, but I can easily put a few of my favorite, you know, fussy cutted elements. So if you have it could be just a big Ziploc bag, you know, or any other box that you have. I have this old cigar box, so I use it for that. So I put all my elements. So these already came, they're already cut. I bought a kit at 49 Market, but you know what I mean. You could put a few fussy cutted elements in there easily. And of course my fussy cutting scissors. And then I brought some of these fabric tapes, because they act, sometimes I decorate items with them, or if I do a tab binded journal, I will use them to do the tab binding. I wasn't sure where I was going this weekend, like what kind of things I would want to create, so I just brought them just in case. Sometimes I'll add a little piece at the bottom of a tag, and just to add some interest. And I brought these because I thought, if I make cards, let's say, what if I decide to make a few greeting cards, then I like to have elements that are a little higher. So I brought these little sticky foam things. Of course, I love to put quotes on a lot of things that I craft, so I brought these, and I brought a few that I purchased, and you can just fussy cut whatever quote you would like to put on your work, whether it's a card, a tag, whatever it is, art journaling. And these are actually cards, right? I just didn't fold them yet, but I don't know if you can see the folding line right here. Because, like I said, I thought, what if I want to make a few greeting cards? I might be in the mood for that. So I brought 2 of them, but any piece of cardstock that is thick enough to make greeting cards, of course, will do. I just happen to have those. And I brought what I have been working on for the elements here that I just showed you. Because I really love these grungy, soft grungy, I should say, because I love the cream colors, so it keeps everything really soft. And I knew I would probably want to create something with these elements, so I brought these. I really absolutely love them. And of course, a few of Martha's books, because I knew I would be crafting with those, certainly. I mean, I am in love with her books. And this is just in case I decide to make something with a window. I do need packaging. And these are, again, things from 49 and Market. If you saw my last video, I did purchase a few items from there. I don't purchase things a whole lot of like many times. I usually just buy digital papers because I can print and just fussy cut. But I did treat myself, and I got a few items from 49 and Market. And so that's what I'm crafting with lately. I'm crafting with these digital papers from J. Lou, 49 and Market, and Martha's books. And I brought my favorite stencils to, put, work with gold, or maybe with one of my inkers to, put some writing on something. I forgot. I also brought these papers from Tim Holtz. I absolutely love them. Ideology. And because they go absolutely perfectly with the whole vibe I'm going for here. So again, see what I mean? All of this is a perfect blend. So I brought these. And if I can give you a little, not a hint, but a little trick, is when you're packing, because it's hard to pack and say, I'm going to make a journal. A journal takes a lot of stuff. But if you only pack to make a few elements, at least bring something in the same vibe, in the same feel. So don't bring pinks and blues and yellows and grungy and large, try and stay in the same color scheme, because at least it'll be easier for you to create a lot of items with just what you brought and not feel like you're missing out, that you didn't bring enough. So for me, because I know I'm working on pieces like the ones I just showed you, it was easy for me to pick smaller pieces of paper that I can absolutely put. See, I even brought an old envelope because that doesn't take any space. And I thought maybe I can transform this envelope to go in this future journal for which I'm making all these pieces. And so that is a very easy thing to bring. I brought some of this very thick handmade paper because, again, in its cream color, it goes with the vibe. I also brought pieces of this paper that I embossed. Again, same vibe. You know what I mean? So I brought some leftover coffee stain papers, all kinds, music sheets, and a few more of 49 and Market papers right here that you see. Just a few, cut up pages, nothing, not too many, because again, I'm not staying here a whole week. Usually, well, right now it's just the weekend because I have to work this week. But if I stay, 3 or 4 days, that's enough. Because like I said, I'm on vacation. We go hiking, we go kayaking. I'll go to the beach, I'll be at the pool. But for those few days where, I feel like crafting today. I want to be alone. I've seen enough people for the last few days. I just want to be in my trailer, quiet, and craft. Even if it's just 2-3 tags, even if it's just, an envelope that I'm going to transform or make a greeting card. At least I have my little crafting emergency kit. And if you're anything like me, I do feel sometimes like, oh my goodness, I should have brought this to craft. Now I'm regretting I didn't bring anything. And a lot of times, last summer especially, that happened quite a few times. And I thought this summer it's going to be the same way. I'm just going to bring my painting things, because I always have this little kit. And in the cabinet that I can't open right now because I have my clamp on, I have tiny little watercolor sets. They're not my favorite, paints, but they're just enough that I can paint and have fun. And where was I going with that again? Yes, so usually I just bring things to do little watercolors, but sometimes I don't want to paint. I actually want to touch papers. Another trick, by the way, if, and sometimes, like I said, I want to craft little things, but sometimes I'm just going to bring things to fussy cut, because fussy cutting relaxes me and it makes me feel like at least I'm doing something towards the goal of creating, because then I'll have all these pieces to play with and I'm looking at pretty images. I'm getting inspired as I'm cutting. So, there's always a way. So if you're like me and you have maybe a cottage or a trailer that you go camping in, or you're going away for a week, and the kids are playing, or and you have some time to yourself and you think, oh darn, I should have brought some things. Well, you know what? This doesn't take a whole lot of space. That was really easy to pack in my car, and it has just enough of all the essentials for me to actually be sitting at this table, and I could craft for a few hours with what I've brought. And I know you know what I mean, because you're all crafters too. So I hope this little video maybe gave you a little incentive to say, you know what, I'm going to do the same and grab a few essentials, and I can certainly craft while I'm on vacation. There's no need for me to feel like I'm missing out, and that, on those days where it's raining outside, maybe you regret not bringing them. It doesn't take a whole lot of space, and it'll make you feel so much better. Like, I might not even get the chance to craft this weekend, but it's with me. Just the fact that it's with me makes me feel so good, because I know that if I wanted to, I could. So again, I hope I've inspired you to maybe do the same. I hope I've given you a few tricks on what to bring with you and not feel too overwhelmed with everything you want to bring, but just bring some essentials. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. So as usual, I do hope you are all happy, healthy, and safe. And I do give you a great big hug from here in Nova Scotia, Canada. And I say thank you for watching. See you soon. Bye. Bye bye.